and welcome to the Bot Box. There are a few robots that can be classed as boxes on wheels. Some of them are nice and shiny, like Techno-Lease. Most bots aren't shiny for a reason, though. I don't mean there is a reason why they're not shiny. Most of the time, there is no reason why they are shiny. Techno-Lease was a silver-coloured box and had red, white and blue sections on, it being from the Netherlands, and had yellow and black hazard tape on as trim. Techno-Lease was armed with a grinding disc on an arm, sometimes referred to as a saw, and some spikes. The reason why Techno-Lease was shiny? Oh, beauty killed the beast. I'm not sure that's what happened in the fairy tale, and I have read it a few times. Anyway, Techno-Lease made its debut in the International League Championships, where they first faced American sawbot Prometheus. A pushing war quickly ensued as the two robots met in the middle of the arena, one that Prometheus had the upper hand in. But the two robots were having their pushing wars close to Sergeant Bash, so that's just where the robots migrated, and Techno-Lease was holding its own. But anyway, this pushing war ended up so close to Sergeant Bash that the house robot intervened, and kept intervening long after the two bots had left the vague vicinity of Sergeant Bash's corner. See, this is why the ref bot showed up and eventually gained the ability to give house robots yellow and red cards. Techno-Lease got its saw into play, not that it did much beyond scratch damage, and Prometheus pushed Techno-Lease into Sergeant Bash's corner. Sergeant Bash sent Techno-Lease to the spikes. This was after Prometheus had pushed them into a wall as well. And Prometheus leaked ominous smoke as time ran out. And I didn't have the judges for the International League Championship fights. It was so if both robots were mobile at the end, the result was deemed a draw. So, as this was a group stage match, and next up for Techno-Lease was the third robot in the group, English Crusher Razor. Oh well, this is going to go well, isn't it? It wasn't long before Techno-Lease gained a hole. A second hole followed as Techno-Lease was sent close to Shunt, but Razor reversed into Shunt whilst carrying Techno-Lease and doing a wheelie. Show-offs. Techno-Lease got a brief respite as a result, but once Razor got free, it put holes in Techno-Lease until the Dutch bot stopped. They even managed to lift Techno-Lease before leaving them to the house robots and attacking the house robots as well. So that was Techno-Lease. I should just so you know, this was at the end of Series 3 of Robot Wars. So you have a time period this was in. Next up for Techno-Lease was the very first World Championships, where it drew English bulldozer bot Behemoth. Techno-Lease drove head-on into Behemoth early on, which I think they were trying to initiate some kind of pushing war, but instead got turned upside down. Techno-Lease, whilst it had the arm for its saw, it could not self-right. So that was them out. They didn't get got at by the house robots, they were just left. Cease was called, that was it. And Techno-Lease never returned. Its team tried to get into Series 7 of Robot Wars with a different robot, Slicer, but during the qualifiers had to withdraw. It's a shame, really. Slicer was actually a good bot, or far better bot than Techno-Lease was. It actually won Series 1 of Dutch Robot Wars. It's also worth noting that Slicer was not as shiny as Techno-Lease. Techno-Lease wasn't a bad bot and had a good deal of pushing power, and the Prometheus team noted that, though it was always going to have a hard time with Razor, and its tactics against Behemoth were questionable. you have no self-writer and you're going head on into a robot that can turn you over. This is not wise. They had much more success in the Dutch series with Slicer. It's a shame that Slicer, for whatever reason, could not make the UK series. So, who's next? Taiki, please be kind. Oh, rats, I got the wrong button. I dropped the slip. There we go. What have we got here? Detonator. Detonator. Right. Maybe the sound effect that I accidentally pressed almost fit. Until next week, Callison244 out.